Okay, welcome back now. So today we're going to be working on the hand. So I already have my reference image for the hand. So oh no, I need to turn on symmetry for this. So turn on it's X on the keyboard, turn on symmetry for this. I'm going to max out just the arm and then polygroup that. Something like this will be fine. Now Control W to polygroup that. And I will just isolate. I think I will just I will isolate the arm. Now just isolate the hand rather, so I can work on this as an individual piece. Okay, so nothing too complicated in here. So I'm going to show you guys a general workflow with one or two, or even with one, and then the same method just applies to the other ones. But before I do that, I'd like to carve out where the fingernails should be. Then after we're done adding skin pores for the body, I want to show you guys, or in later lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to extract out fingernails for this. How to also detail those fingernails. But for now, let's just use our damn standard brush. No, this feels awkward. No, because the direction of this is wrong. Let me do something better in here. So I'm using the damn standard brush actually for this. No. That still feels slanted. Shouldn't be this slanted. That feels slanted. No. I think I'll need to undo that. Let me do this again and then do this properly. No, that still feels slanted. Okay, you can always adjust that later on though with the move topological brush. Let me just get this to work something like so. Or I can always adjust that later on. So this one already has a kind of landmark in there. But this can always be adjusted later on, so there's no problem. Something you can always adjust later on with a move topological brush just to get this to look better. Let me do this for the thumb now. Then after this, we'll start working on the knuckles rather. We'll start working on the indentation on the knuckles. So it's basically just using two brushes, the damn standard brush and then the standard brush for this. So basically those two brushes will do a really good job for us. Let me just kind of get a better angle for this. So I can kind of do this properly. I'll zoom in on the reference image. Something like so. And just kind of get a good angle for this. So I'm working on symmetry in here, so you just have to make sure you're working on symmetry in here. Very important. So you don't have to kind of do the entire step again for the other side. Or if you want to, you can always do that just to break the uniformity of it if you want to. But I don't think I'll be doing that. So with them standard brush now, I'm just kind of carve. You can also use your hand as a reference for this. That's a straight line. You want to kind of avoid, like I said before, always try to avoid straight lines for this. You always want to avoid straight lines. Something like that should be fine. Let's see, okay. So always keeping in mind, you can always adjust that later on. If it feels too slanted now, I'll still adjust that later on with the move topological brush. So now this is the damn standard brush now to kind of carve out or kind of do kind of which word should I use for this? More like an inflation around those indentation I've made with the damn standard brush. So I'm just kind of inflating that just to make this feel a bit saggy around that. depth, the carving in with the depth standard brush. Let me do something here also. Okay, something around here should be fine. Still kind of avoiding doing straight lines on this. So because these particular lines should be more like in a radial format. It shouldn't be that straight of a line. You can always use your own hand as reference image for this. So something like should be fine. I'm using the standard brush now just to create an indentation and inflation around that part where I've carved in with the damn standard brush. And this is just the same repetitive process around the other knuckles too. So more of repetitive process around this. So even if I don't even say much in here, I'm sure you guys already get the idea already. So the idea is kind of draw three lines that kind of arc around themselves. Then use the standard brush kind of inflate out those indentation you've added. Let me do this for the let me make this my feel more intense like so. I'll block out something like so around here. Just checking this from a distance to be sure if that is working correctly, which is fine. Repeat the same process here also. More like a arc around something like so. Something like this should be fine. And here also. Okay. So now just use the standard brush and kind of inflate all of those. If this feels too intense, you can always use the smooth brush kind of blend this back down if you want to. That's completely fine and that's completely up to you. Okay. See, yeah, I need to turn this off. This is supposed to be off all the while long, all the while ago. So I need to turn that off. So if I do this now, yeah, it feels better now. It's not having that sharp edge around it anymore. So it's kind of a softer edge around this now, which is fine. Let me just kind of do that for the other parts. No, but I think that's still fine anyways. Let me just do this for the thumb. Same repetitive process also for this. Now just take up the brush size and just kind of add that inflation around this. And dig this in even more around here like so. More like in form of an arc. Okay. Your hand is like a good reference for this source. If you look at your own hand, you can use that as a great reference to kind of block this out. Okay, it's fine. I think we can start working on the palm now. In the back side looks fine, so we can start working on the palm. Let me just look for a reference image for the palm. So we can use that as a guide and start blocking things in. Okay. Let's see. Just checking this just to be sure if everything is working correctly before I move on to the next part, which is the palm. The palm will just be using mostly the dem standard brush, like heavily on the dem standard brush. Heavily on the dem standard brush. Let me just flip this to the side of where we have the frontal part of the palm. Okay. Let's start using the dem standard brush now. It's gonna start carving out some lines in here. So I'm going to do this on this subdivision level. Then I'm going to, then when I'm almost done, or rather when I'm done, I'll go to a higher subdivision level. It's going to add some kind of tighter and sharper lines around that. So you always want to avoid also here avoid drawing straight lines. And the idea is to draw like almost like a short line, then kind of continue on that short line and kind of make it look more curvy in a way. It's more like drawing thunder strikes around this, like horizontal thunder strikes, thunder shaped strikes around this, or lightning strike, whichever one it is. Okay, I think it's lightning. It should be lightning strikes. Yes. I think thunder is the sound, then lightning is the that strike. Lightning strike is that zigzaggy shape that comes out. Yeah, I think that's it. That should be it. Is it? Oh well, regardless, I'm sure you guys get the idea already. So just use that idea, whatever it is, thunder or lightning, whatever it is. So I'm just gonna keep repeating that entire process around this. So it's more like a repeated process around this. Okay. So something like so should be fine. Probably do this for the edge. Let me get a closer view on this and just do this for the edge. You can see how the details are not too, the resolution is not too good for this. So once you're done with it, go to a higher subdivision level and then do some more sharper cut lines in there. I'm going to do this all the way to the back, like so. Here also, kind of cracks. Yeah. I think the idea is like more of like cracks, creating crack lines around this. That's like general idea. Creating crack lines. Okay. I'm just gonna get this to a proper. Let me just proper view so I can see this. It's more or less the same. I'm sure you guys are already bored already because it's just the same process. So you can just you don't need to do this line by line, just the way it is, like mine. You cannot be creative with you. I'm just gonna pause my own video and then if you're working on the same model I'm working on, I just start creating thunder crack. Yes, that's the better one. Lightning cracks. Confusing. Just like creating crack lines around this on your own. But you want to try to avoid making it too much so it doesn't feel too noisy. Okay. There's all these minor details in here that when we start texturing this inside of SubstancePainter, all these crack details or minor details we've added here begins to make the texture look even better. So it's very important to kind of create most of the details we have in here. Very important. Okay, so for the center of the palm now, I'm just kind of repeat the same process for the center of the palm. Okay, let's see, and just repeat the same process. Let's get this out of the way. I keep adding some more crack lines around this. So now basically now I'm using I can use my own hand. Yes, because my own hand is a realistic life. Yes, my own hand is like a good realistic reference for this. So I'm basically using my own hands right now as a good reference, as an even better reference for this. So because your hand also as a good reference to kind of create more of these cracks around the arm, on the sides and in the center also. I'm just gonna create in lines, just jag lines around the arm. Because I'm seeing this in my own hand, so I'm kind of using it. I'm kind of replicating that. You can go crazy and just do as much as you like, so long it doesn't make the design look too noisy. So let me just do something here also. I didn't do this part. Let me just do this here. Something there. So with our paintbrush now, I'll kind of tighten this. So the paintbrush, I'll start tightening up some of this, especially on the starting point and on the end points. Just kind of tighten that. And you can spend like more than 4 hours on just creating details for the hand. You can spend that much time and then just to get proper good looking skin details on top of that. But for the sake of saving time, I won't be going that the gun won't be going that, but that just be too extreme. So I don't need to go that far and then spend hours on this when we still have a whole lot of things to do on this model. We have not started adding clothing on this. We have not. I was still need to use Marvelous Designer to add some clothes and then begin to texture this and do some other cool detailing stuff on this. So spending 4 hours on just the hand alone is not actually ideal for me. So, but if you want to do that for your own personal project, that's completely fine. That's awesome. You can actually do that if you want to. That's actually cool. That's actually fine if you do that if you want to. But for mine, I will not be doing that. Okay, I think we're already coming close to the end of this. I can even stop talking even now because it's just the same repetitive process around this. But now I'm on the higher subdivision level, so I'm kind of adding some tighter wrinkles in there just to make it feel more defined. So I'm adding some tighter wrinkles around some of those. Okay, I'm just adding some tighter wrinkles around this also, just to make it feel more defined. Very important. Because the initial pass we added for this was in lower subdivision level, so it's not sharp enough for anyone. It's not sharp enough for anyone to kind of see what's in there. So kind of making this feel more defined now by adding sharper lines on top of that. And I'm still on symmetry mode actually, so I'm still working symmetrically on top of this. Okay, so I think I will just leave you guys to it, so you guys can just detail it as much as you want. So, well, I'm done for now. So I'm going to be seeing you guys in the next lesson. So bye for now.